Question 91. A managed online endpoint must automatically add instances when load rises and remove them when it falls to control cost. Which capability provides this? A. Auto-scaling rules on the endpoint. B. A static single instance. C. A block list. D. A content filter. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer. A. Auto-scaling rules on the endpoint. Why A is correct? The requirements are automatically add instances when demand increases. Automatically remove instances when demand decreases. Control cost while maintaining performance. Managed online endpoint. Auto-scaling is specifically designed for this scenario. Question 92. A team wants to prompt templates and agent definitions to be reviewable, diffable, and revertible over time. Where should these artifacts live? A. In a shared chat window. B. In an email thread. C. In version control, a Git repository. D. Only in the running service. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer. C. In version control, a Git repository. Why C is correct? The requirements are reviewable via pull requests, diffable, see exactly what changed, revertible, roll back to previous versions, maintain history over time. A Git repository is the standard place to store prompt templates, agent definitions, evaluation configurations, infrastructure as code templates, deployment pipelines. Question 93. An architect must connect one project to an existing storage account, a key vault, and a search service that other teams own. Which construct links these external resources? A. Copying the resources into the project. B. A single API key. C. A block list. D. Connections to each external resource. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer. D. Connections to each external resource. Why D is correct? The scenario says the project must use an existing storage account, an existing key vault, an existing Azure AI search service, resources owned by other teams. In Foundry, the mechanism used to integrate existing external Azure resources is connections. Connections allow a Foundry project to securely reference and use external resources without copying or recreating them. Question 94. A team wants to pin exactly which model build serves production, so an automatic platform update cannot silently change behavior. Which action achieves this? A. Deploy without specifying a version. B. Deploy a specific named model version. C. Remove the deployment. D. Enable auto upgrade to latest. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer. B. Deploy a specific named model version. Why B is correct? The requirement is production behavior must remain stable. Automatic platform updates must not change behavior unexpectedly. The team wants to know how exactly which model build is running. The solution is to pin the deployment to a specific model version. Question 95. A regulated deployment must ensure the search service, storage, and model endpoint are all reachable only over private connectivity as a set. Which setup accomplishes this consistently? A. One public endpoint shared by all. B. Private endpoints on each resource with public access disabled. C. A re-ranker. D. A larger quota. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer. B. private endpoints on each resource with public access disabled. Why B is correct. The requirement is search service accessible only privately, storage accessible only privately, model endpoint accessible only privately, no public internet exposure, consistent security posture across all components. Question 96. A team wants each pull request to spin up an ephemeral test environment, run evaluations, and tear it down automatically. Which practice enables this? A. No testing. B. A single shared prod environment. C. Manual environment creation per PR. D. Automated environment provisioning in the pipeline. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, D. Automated environment provisioning in the pipeline. Why D is correct. The scenario describes a modern DevOps Gen AI Ops practice. Every pull request gets its own test environment. Environment is created automatically. Evaluations test run automatically. Environment is destroyed afterward. No manual steps required. This is commonly called an ephemeral environment or preview environment pattern. Question 97. Finance wants each deployment's cost tagged to a cost center at creation so chargeback reports are accurate. Which practice ensures consistent attribution? A. Applying standardized resource tags via the deployment template. B. A content filter. C. Turning off billing. D. Guessing cost monthly. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, A. Applying standardized resource tags via the deployment template. Why A is correct. The requirement is every deployment must be associated with a cost center. Applied at creation time. Consistent chargeback and reporting. Automatic enforcement. The best practice is to define standardized Azure resource tags in your infrastructure as code, IAC, templates, or deployment pipelines. Question 98. A team must decide how much of a shared regional token per minute allowance to assign to each deployment so none starves the others. Which setup expresses this allocation? A. No quotas at all. B. Per deployment throughput quota allocation. C. A content filter. D. One shared unlimited pool. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, B. Per deployment throughput quota allocation. Why B is correct. The scenario requires a shared regional token per minute capacity. Multiple deployments sharing that capacity. Prevention of one deployment consuming all available throughput. Explicit allocation of capacity among workloads. The solution is to assign throughput quota per deployment. Question 99. A CI pipeline must fail to build when a new prompt causes groundedness to drop below a set threshold on the benchmark set. Which construct enforces the standard? A. An automated evaluation gate with pass fail thresholds. B. A manual note to check later. C. A larger quota. D. A re-ranker. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, A. An automated evaluation gate with pass fail thresholds. Why A is correct. The scenario requires run evaluations automatically in CI. Measure groundedness on a benchmark golden dataset. Compare against a defined threshold. Fail to build if quality drops. This is exactly what an automated evaluation gate does. Question 100. An architect wants development experiments to never consume the production model's reserved capacity. Which arrangement guarantees this separation? A. A single API key. B. One shared deployment for both. C. Separate deployments capacity for dev and prod. D. No quotas. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, C. Separate deployments capacity for dev and prod. Why C is correct? The requirement is development experiments must never impact production. Production has reserved capacity. Guaranteed isolation between environments. The only way to guarantee this is to provision separate deployments and separate capacity allocations for development and production. If this was successful, please like and subscribe so that you get notified when I've released new questions.